In the quiet corners of Virginia, a story of love and tragedy unfolded so profoundly and unexpectedly that it forever changed the lives of everyone involved. Anna and Lucas, young and in love, saw their dreams turn into a devastating nightmare. What began as a tale of happiness and hope soon became a battle against pain, loss, and, surprisingly, a heroic act from an unexpected ally. This is a journey of redemption and overcoming, where love and courage emerge from the darkest shadows. The couple's life was full of expectations and plans for the future. Lucas worked as a mechanic in his father's workshop, while Anna studied nursing and planned to complete her studies to help support the family. Just a month after the wedding, Anna discovered she was pregnant. The news brought immense joy to the young couple, who began eagerly preparing for the arrival of their first child. With enthusiasm, they set up the baby's room, with a wardrobe, a small bed, and toys, anticipating the moment of becoming a little family. Anna spent hours imagining what life would be like with the baby, while Lucas worked tirelessly to ensure that the new family lacked nothing. They attended birth preparation classes together, watched baby care videos, and discussed names. Every detail was thought out with care and affection. Lucas loved listening to the baby's heartbeat with a stethoscope they had purchased. With each beat, they felt more connected to that new life that was to come. The nights were filled with conversations about the future, about what the parents would be like and the dreams they had for the child. Anna and Lucas's parents were also euphoric. He was the first grandchild on both sides, and they spared no effort in helping the young couple. Anna's mother, Maria, spent the weekends teaching her daughter how to knit clothes for the baby, while Lucas's father helped build a wooden crib. The community also got involved, bringing gifts and offering help. The small village where they lived rallied around the young family, waiting with them for the baby's arrival. But their happiness could not predict the challenges that lay ahead. When it was time to give birth, Anna needed to be taken to the hospital urgently. Lucas, desperate, called a friend to help them, but the car was broken. Out of options, he called an ambulance, which arrived too late. Anna passed out in Lucas's arms, who tried to calm her repeatedly. The journey to the hospital was harrowing, with Lucas holding Anna's hand and whispering words of comfort. At the hospital, the situation proved to be even more serious than Lucas could have imagined. Doctors informed her that Anna would not be able to give birth naturally, and that an emergency cesarean section was necessary. Lucas, with tears in his eyes, signed the necessary papers and waited, anguished, for news. The wait seemed endless. Every minute was an eternity as he remembered all the happy moments they shared and the bright future they imagined. Tragedy and despair. The hours in the hospital dragged on, and Lucas's anxiety only increased. He paced the waiting room, desperately trying to find a way to calm his nerves. Friends and family began to arrive, all equally worried and anxious. The words of comfort they offered him could barely penetrate his mind, dominated by fear and uncertainty. After 5 hours, the doctor left the operating room with a serious and worried expression. Lucas felt his heart sink in his chest. The doctor explained, with a voice choked with sadness, that Anna had died during the procedure. But the baby, a boy, had been saved at the last second. The shock was so great that Lucas could barely process the information. The pain of losing Anna was unbearable, and the idea of raising a child without her seemed unimaginable. Lucas's world collapsed. In one moment, he lost the woman he loved and the mother of his child. In a state of shock and despair, he was unable to accept the baby's presence, refusing to see him. He felt overwhelmed by guilt, pain, and fear of the future. How could he care for a child when he felt his own life had been destroyed? The image of Anna, smiling and full of life, was now in complete contrast to the dark and devastating reality he faced. Maria, Anna's grandmother, took responsibility for the baby. she took him home, caring for him with all the love and care she could offer. Maria had surprising inner strength, and although she was grieving the loss of her granddaughter, she knew that the baby needed her. She decorated the baby's room with the things that Anna and Lucas had prepared, trying to keep the young mother's dream alive. With each baby cry, she felt a mix of sadness and hope, remembering Anna and the legacy she had left. Maria tried to convince Lucas to take responsibility, but he was immersed in his pain and denial. He avoided visitors, didn't answer calls, and seemed to have completely isolated himself from the world. Friends and family tried to reach him, but he remained distant, lost in his own grief. He spent his days in a state of apathy, barely able to find the energy to carry out daily tasks. An unexpected turn and an unusual hero. Months passed, and, little by little, life began to move forward. However, the pain in Lucas was still palpable. He had isolated himself from everyone, living in a small apartment far from Anna's memories. One day, unexpectedly, he appeared at Maria's house. Her eyes were red from crying, but there was a new determination on her face. He explained that after much reflection and therapy, he was ready to care for his son. He had accepted Anna's death and was determined to move on and be the father his son deserved. Maria, although initially skeptical, allowed him to take the child. She helped him prepare everything, from the crib to the clothes. Lucas seemed to have found new strength. He dedicated himself to learning everything he could about fatherhood by reading books, watching videos, and talking to other fathers. At first, Maria visited daily, helping Lucas with everyday tasks and offering emotional support. The transition wasn't easy, but Lucas was determined to make it work. The happiness was brief. Lucas met Sophia, a kind and understanding woman who brought a ray of light into his dark life. They began a relationship, and Lucas allowed himself to dream again. However, when Sophia ended the relationship, Lucas fell into depression again. He felt as if all his efforts were futile, as if he were destined for a life of sadness and loneliness. In an act of desperation, Lucas took the baby to the train tracks, leaving him there and returning home. It was then that Maria's dog, a loyal terrier named Max, ran away and found the baby. Max was more than a pet. He was a member of the family, with a keen protective instinct. He found the baby alone and helpless on the tracks, and carefully picked up the child by her clothes and brought her back home. Maria, realizing what had happened, rushed to save Lucas from making an even bigger mistake. She found Lucas in a state of despair, ready to do something irreversible. With a mix of anger and compassion, she stopped him and called the police. Lucas was taken to the police station, where he confessed everything. The community was shocked to hear the story, but also came together in support of Maria and the baby. Today, the boy lives with his great-grandmother and the dog, growing up in an environment of love and security. Max's heroic intervention brought an unexpected twist and showed that, even in the darkest moments, love and loyalty can prevail. The story of Anna, Lucas, and their son is a powerful reminder of resilience and the importance of family support, showing that even in the most desperate situations, there is always hope for redemption and a new beginning.